We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Drainage District Board of Directors meeting for June 18, 2019. It's 9:30, and if we could have a roll call.
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2.
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Eli Torres, Precinct 4.
Which represents a quorum. If we can start with prayer.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Let us pray. Father God, again, we give you thanks just for another day that you provided for us to serve, Lord. We continue to pray for our leadership here in our county, Lord. We continue to lift up the judge and the 4 commissioners that you've appointed, Lord, to lead this great county of ours, Lord. Continue to provide them with your wisdom, with your guidance, and more importantly, your peace, Lord, when they make the decisions that affect us all, Lord. Continue to bless them, not only them, but their families as well, all those around them, Lord. And we continue to ask for your blessings for ourselves as well. I continue to ask for your guidance, Lord, for your wisdom for myself, Lord, for all the workers at the Drainage District, at the county, Lord. May we just continue to work as we're working for you, Lord, and all the leadership of this great county, Lord. We pray for them as well. We lift them up to you, Lord, for you to provide them the direction that they need when they make the decisions, Lord. I thank you again, Lord, for the opportunity you allow us to serve, and it's in your name that I ask all this. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Lord. Nobody signed up for open forum, so we can go on to the approval of the consent agenda.
On the consent agenda, Commissioner, we have just various operating items. Approval of check register. We have our payment for our discharge permits. We have ratification of the change orders that my team has reviewed, and myself as well. We have various payments to vendors that have been audited by our internal accounting department, and everything's in order for it.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Under item 5A, requesting approval of final negotiated professional service contract with George J. Salazar, 2DB8 Appraisal House as it relates to on-call real estate appraisal services for Dow County Drainage District and 1 projects. Approved for negotiations by the Board of Directors, agenda item 70390 on May 21st, 2019. Subject to legal review and compliance, House Bill 1295.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, requesting approval to accept and execute license from United States International Boundary and Water Commission to construct, operate, and maintain 2 5x5 box culverts and gate structures for Alamo Expressway drain, subject to final legal review.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, requesting approval of duplication of benefits form issued by the Texas Division of Emergency Management as it relates to DR 4223 and approval for Drainage District General Manager or existing need to execute.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, requesting approval and concurrence of TxDOT proposed roadway improvements plans for Mile 6 West Road, CSJ 092102240.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item E, recommending bid award and approval of contract to the responsible bidder submitting the sole bid received meeting all requirements specifications RFP number ACDD 1-19035A0515 flexible basic material crushed caliche subject to compliance with House Bill 1295.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item F, discussion and possible action on approval of division order a .0346380 non-participating royalty interest in Luis Degochi Gas Unit and accompanying letter from the Debris Petroleum Corporation dated June 12, 2019, as necessary to obtain ACD No. 1 suspended royalties of $960,507.40. So we own property on that, and legals reviewed it. It's been producing since 2010, I believe, so it's about almost 9 years of royalties that we're getting for the production. So we'd like to, once we receive it, look at allocating it for equipment, shredding equipment that we're really needing for our operation. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Second.
Great.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item G, discussion possible action to approve an interlocal cooperation agreement with Hidalgo and Cameron Counties Irrigation District number 9, for maintenance of approved ditches and authorized execution of the same.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item H, discussion, consideration, action to adopt Dow County District 1 standards for donation of property. We have before the board some basically criteria that we're following when properties want to be donated to the district. We know in the past we've taken some in, but we're starting to get requests for the district to take on properties, which we definitely look forward to, because it obviously the acquisition of land is a component of getting drainage developed in areas that we don't have drainage. So when land is made available to us, we're able to develop those projects. And in some cases, the donor actually develops the plans or develops the actual construction. In some cases, the district does, depending on what's on the activity and the need in that area. So we've set up a criteria with our legal counsel. We feel very comfortable. Part of the procedure is the appraisal of the property is done by the donor. There is an IRS form that they can get credit for, I guess, my understanding, tax credit for the donation. We don't opine on that value. We state that in this policy that we're developing, that we're not opining to the value, whatever that value is. We're going to do our evaluation for our book record, and that's it. We're not going to use whatever appraisal the donor uses for his tax purpose. That's between him and the IRS, and that's the advice that we've gotten from legal. Feel comfortable about it. The legal's looked into it. I've worked for over a month with them on it. I think it's something that it's good for our area, because it allows for us to, as I mentioned, our priority is to get drainage in areas where we don't have drainage, but at the same time it allows for the continuation of development, which we definitely are not opposed to. We want our tax base to grow, or our area to grow.
It was getting a little complicated. Did you dumb it down a little bit? Because we were talking about things that had nothing to do with us, right? Like determining value. No. That has nothing to do with us.
We're not going to determine that. You're correct.
Whatever they send to the IRS, that's up to them.
We put that action in an acknowledgement, Commissioner. We said whatever they do, we're not agreeing to when we sign, or the judge signs on behalf of the district, signs the form that they file. It's just signing that we're accepting the donation. That's it. We're not, as I said, opining to the value or anything. We're going to do our own evaluation for our book value of that system.
I want to see the guidelines. I don't have a problem approving it, but I want to see it to see if there's some unnecessary steps that can be removed, some expenses removed.
We can do that subject to the final legal review, and that way we'll run it through legal, get it back, and then legal says, okay, everything's good. I'll distribute it again, and we'll be ready to go.
I just saw a couple of steps, or we discussed a couple of steps that I thought were completely unnecessary.
Okay.
But, okay.
Move for approval.
Second.
Subject to legal?
Yes, sir. Subject to legal.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item I, discussion relates to the meeting with the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in Washington, D.C. on June 4, 2019. Commissioner Fuentes, would you like to just kind of brief?
Yeah, this was, I think, a very productive trip that we took up to D.C., and we met with the Housing and Urban Development leadership, the undersecretary up there, and also some of his staff. Got some direction with respect to disaster recovery monies that have become available, $46.4 million that has already been awarded to the Tri-County area of the Jim Wells, Cameron, and Hidalgo County. So we know that some relief is on its way. This does not make us whole. This does not replace FEMA. This is really just money that provides some relief for long-term mitigation plans. I thought the meetings that we had with all the HUD staff was very productive. We know that there is a second round of money that should be coming available that was kind of like a side pocket to Harvey money, and we're hopeful that we'll be able to obtain some of that. A lot of that is allocated to the entire state of Texas that was non-affected by Harvey. So we'll be competing with the likes of Travis and Bexar County and some other large counties, but I think that we've already put our best foot forward with respect to the needs of our area. We're very appreciative of the congressman and Vicente Gonzalez, Filemon Vela, Henry Cuellar for taking time to meet with us. Senator Cornyn was receptive. I know that Commissioner Torres was there with us as well as leadership from Cameron County and Willacy County. And again, we're trying to let people understand and know that drainage is a regional effort, not just a Hidalgo County effort. Whatever happens to us, just like we saw what happens in Mission affects Precinct 1 and the eastern part of Hidalgo County, what affects us affects Cameron and Willacy as well. So we got to be mindful of not hurting our neighbors, and we got to make sure that we approach all these projects from a regional perspective. We're very, very hopeful. We know that there's another disaster recovery bill that Trump and the Congress has approved. So we know that there's going to be even more monies that become available for disaster recovery. So I just want all of us to be on the same page, and I appreciate Commissioner Torres being up there with us. But I want, for you guys to know that we're out there trying to advocate for our area, and we've made it a team effort, and we're working really hard. I appreciate your efforts in getting that package complete.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if that's something you can produce and publish on your website.
Yes, sir.
So that people have access to
We'll
the
definitely put it together. Yes, sir.
presentation that we gave up to our leadership. We know that we're going to follow up. We know we're going to go back up there in September, October, to continue to advocate for these programs. We can't let them go by the wayside. And we'll continue to research and go through other avenues to try to find relief money. This is in relation to the June event that we had last year, and actually today is the 1-year anniversary of that rain event that started in the Mid-Valley area. So we ask that people be mindful of that. Make sure you put debris in the right place. Don't put it in our drainage ditches. Illegal dumping is a big problem in our area, tires and just general waste. So please, we ask that our constituents be mindful of that, because if they put stuff in the drain ditch, it's going to affect us all. Appreciate your efforts in trying to, I know that we've done a lot of cleanup with respect to that, but with respect to HUD, we're going to go out there and continue to advocate for more money. We have a $2 billion need. This isn't going to get us anywhere close to that, but we're hopeful that it'll help relieve some of the structural issues that we have and try to relieve a lot of the drainage in those areas.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commissioner. Appreciate it. And my staff, thank you. My staff have helped put everything together, so definitely thank them as well. Any questions or anything?
Commissioner Torres, you have?
Well, we thank you guys for going for us. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on if it's okay. Item J, presentation and discussion relates to Dow County Generation and One community outreach and education efforts regarding illegal dumping. And just as Commissioner Fuentes mentioned right now, some of we had the first year anniversary of the event that hit us last year, and obviously June 1st is the start of hurricane season, and we're always mindful of the cleaning that we do and the shredding efforts, but just want to put some pictures out there for the public. We're going to have this on our website, and just kind of you can visually see the effects that illegal dumping can have, and that obviously there's a myriad of things that affect our system, from polluting the waters, inundations, flooding, things of that nature, mosquito breathing, things like that when we have systems. And that's one of our systems there that, is cleaned up already, but you can see there several hundred feet of just trash bags clogging the whole system there. So, and that area had experienced flooding from a rain event. And it wasn't a major rain event because you'll see in the slide here one of the photos that we have. Well, this is one of the areas where illegal dumping has taken place. We had just created the actual bench for this system, and not a week later, we saw this illegal dumping here. So
2 weeks after the rain event, we had something like that happen in one of our affected colonias.
Yeah.
And it's like, really, we can't have this.
Right.
This is the type of stuff that we need to try to help each other with.
And we definitely, we need to look at how we can manage with the businesses out there, the Yanterias, the tire places.
We need a camera system that runs
something. We need to start
by itself
brainstorming, because these are challenges that not only affects us before the storm, during the storm, but also takes manpower to clean it up, which takes away from our operation of maintenance and cleaning. So this is the system right here that tied into the one that showed all the trash bags, and that was a pipe right there. So, we went in there, removed everything, put in a new system. Now it flows, And this was just a little 2-inch rain they got, and they were flooding. So,
but we can go out and clean all day long, and the next day somebody throws trash. It's all for nothing.
And that's what we tell them. I don't dump into the ditch, yes, but if you dump around your land, your property, when it rains, it goes into the inlets, it clogs up the pipes, it goes into our system, and eventually accumulates. Go to the next one. And this right here, this is a system we just put in. We just put a crossing on Canton Road, one of our major laterals that when I took over, we widened, which is our Alamo lateral, and we tripled capacity in that area because we had a lot of issues in those rural developments. So that was our focus when we took over, and we're still working in that area. But this is just an example right here, a refrigerator, and that's what happens right there. And to try to manage that during an event, it's impossible. We can't get under there when the water is full. So those are the challenges that the district has, the county has, and it's not just a shredding operation. I understand everybody, hey, I need you to come shred, but we're also, a lot of our crews are pulled away from the shredding operation to handle a lot of this stuff as well. So, we're doing our best to maintain our shredding cycle, but when we have these type of issues, we gotta invest manpower, which takes away from the other. So, do we have another one? Okay, and these are the outreach that we have. So this is just a summary. We've been doing this is just for the last 2 years. We've been very active, and when I took over, Mr. Salazar, we had a conversation. He's like, "Hey, boss, let's start." I said, "Yes, of course. Let's start doing outreach." I think that the district it wasn't very, I guess, assertive in its position to try to get information out to the public. So we've taken that role now, and Mr. Salazar has kind of led that to help us coordinate all that outreach, in the precincts, in the county, with STC, with different. With the health department when they had the hurricane conference, so everything. So we're out there spreading the word about illegal dumping, also about our services that we offer and everything. But illegal dumping is one of our biggest challenges that we have. So just wanted to show visually. Sometimes it's best when you see it. We talk about it, but when you see the pictures and the impact, real action pictures, then you really get to appreciate the effects. And I thought that fridge right there, and that cooler and the pipe really points out some of the challenge that we have in our system. Just quick presentation and discussion on any questions or anything, any comments from the board. If not, we can definitely move on. Good. Thank you very much. Item 6A, consider an approval an order authorizing issuance, sale, and delivery of Dow County Generation 1 Unlimited Tax Improvement Bond Series 2019 under the provisions Chapter 1371 Texas Government Code payable from the levy of the direct and continuing annual ad valorem tax authorized pursuant to Chapter 56 Texas Water Code, prescribing the term and form thereof, providing for the payment of the principal thereof and interest thereon, authorizing the use of an official statement to be used in connection with the sale of the bonds, and making other provisions regarding such bonds and matters incident thereto. Mr. Noe Hinojosa? So we went, myself and our CFO, Ms. Briones, went yesterday to Dallas and went through the whole process of getting the bonds out in the market and everything. And, it was interesting. It's the first time I've done that and have participated in that. And it was enlightening, but at the same time, we had some real good feedback. We went out for approximately $73.5 million, and Mr. Hinojosa already will explain all that. And we had a call for about, interest, for lack of a better word, for about $580 million worth of, investment people that wanted to buy our bonds, or be, to be in the market for our bonds. So anyway, so it was interesting to see that the interest rate started and at a good rate and got lower and lower. So we were able to close, I think, and Mr. Hinojosa will cover that, 2.8974, something almost 299, which is very, very good. I think he had projected 3.4 around there initially with budget-wise. So it's looking real good. We're hopeful that when we sell, if this is approved and we sell and receive the funds in July 17th, I believe is the date, when we start investing in all the projects that we have, and based on our current collection and tax and appraisals and so forth, we may have a minimal impact on our taxes. We're hopeful that right now it's projected at $0.01. We may have less. We're hopeful that this first year, because of the interest and the work Mr. Hinojosa and his team has done, we may have minimal impact, if any. So we're still looking at that, but I'll turn it over to him.
Noe Hinojosa for the record. I think everybody has a presentation here in front of you. I want to thank Chuy Ramirez, Bond Counsel, working his staff very diligently with our staff, Bobby Villarreal with us too. Yesterday we went out, as Mr. Sin says, to the market. We had about $74 million worth of bonds being offered, and we had more orders than we could sell bonds for. So that's just another sign of, if anything, the interest is out there in investing in the Valley for this kind of projects. Everybody's aware that, in fact, we had a call with Alliance Bernstein, one of the big buyers of bonds in New York, that Mr. Sin was very instrumental in providing some comfort of the fact that you are investing in infrastructure and you are attentive to the matters that the Drainage District is supposed to be attentive to. As he said earlier, I was afraid for a minute that you were going to take over my job here. No. We projected an interest rate of 3.22, came to the market yesterday morning at 3.03, ended up being at 2.99. I think all in all, it was a very good transaction. Your ratings were confirmed. Moody's at a AA2, Standard & Poor's at AA-. I think S&P is likely to be hit with a complaint from us. I think we should be a AA straight at the Drainage District. But I think they're concerned over the fact that your needs are greater than the $84 million that you borrowed this time. They know they're coming back to the market probably sometime next year and the year after, and that the needs may be greater than just this authorization. But they're very bullish about you. They feel the community is in great shape, and I think all in all it was a pretty successful transaction, and kudos to your team. So with that, our recommendation is for you to adopt the resolution and move on. All right. Any questions you may have, members?
I move to approve the order.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Great job, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thanks.
Item B, requesting acceptance and approval of donation deed from La Jolla Independent School District. It relates to 2018 bond program project 26 Mission Ladder, and authorize the board chair to execute acceptance. We're getting a right-of-way there on La Joma Road. It's part of the bond project for the Mission Ladder.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, requesting acceptance and approval of work condition number 1 in the amount of $46,601.98. That's submitted of B2Z Engineering LLC in relation to professional CMT service for Farm McAllen Drain 2018 bond referendum project 31 through award contract number CACDD 1-19-033-0326 for Dow County Drainage District number 1 on-call professional construction material testing services subject to legal review.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7A, approval to issue payment on the following items proceeding, review and compliance contract terms and conditions. Item 1, approval of application for payment number 1 in the amount of $144,512.40 from Filigonia Site Contractors pertaining to construction contract number ACDD 1-18-060-1211, Precinct 4, RCW Subdivision Drainage Improvements, Project Engineer, Mr. Salivar from my office.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, requesting extension of competitive bidding requirements as Texas Local Government Code 262-02484 for professional engineering services.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Presentation of item 2 of the scoring grid for purpose of ranking by the Board of Directors of the firms graded and evaluated to the district's approved pool of engineering firms for the provision of professional engineering services for Moorfield Road and Inspiration Road, Mile 5 Road through Mile 6 Road drainage improvements. Firm name Javier Hinojosa Engineering, 9267, J&R Engineering LLC, 9133, Cruz Hogan Consultants, 91. Or we should rank as stated.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 3, pursuant to the board's approval, requesting authority for the Dow County Drainage District 1 to negotiate a professional engineering service agreement with the number 1 ranked firm of Javier Hinojosa Engineering for the provision of professional engineering services for Moorfield Road, Inspiration Road, Mile 5 through Mile 6 Road drainage improvements.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8, requesting review and approval of pay claim requests on the following items: invoice number 76394-A and 763-340-A to Upper Valley Material LLC, totaling $809.82 for Midway Road improvements and overrun of material that we ran.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We do not have any closed sessions at this time.
So we're adjourned, Drainage District meeting. We'll come back in 6 minutes.
Thank you.
Good morning. Want to welcome everybody to the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court meeting, June 18th, 2019. It's now a little after 10. We can start with roll call.
David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2,
Joe Flores, Precinct 3.
Eli Torres, Precinct 4.
which represents a quorum. If we can start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and in our new tradition of having a veteran lead us. Today we have the honor to have Daniel Flores, a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Daniel is the Building Maintenance Manager for Hidalgo County Facilities Management. He served from 1980 to 2000 and was Gunnery Sergeant E7. Thank you, Daniel Flores.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Prayer.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom to make good decisions that will affect them today and in the years to come, and help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what's best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessing and your guidance. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. We have the consent agenda, Valde.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, I'd like to pull from consent agenda items 7A, consent agenda 7A, and consent agenda items 10A and B.
Move for approval without those 7A, 10A, and 10B.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Commissioners, for the record, consent agenda item 7A, there is a correction on the account number. The account number should read M0150 and not M0105. Was a transpose.
Move for approval with the correction.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item 10A and B, for the record, Commissioner Fuentes is abstaining from any action and or discussion on consent agenda item 10A and B.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Is that all of consent?
Yes, sir.
We're gonna move some stuff around. Do y'all have anything you all want to move up?
Commissioners, if I may, there is under purchasing. It's placed under me, but it's for precinct 4. And actually, I'd like to take, well, Commissioners here,
Go for it.
is Marty in? Marty's not in the audience. So
We'll get to it as soon as
Okay.
she's here. We also have item 13A, emergency management.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good
How are you
morning.
today?
Good morning. Great.
Top of the
I'm
world.
come before you as in recognition of multiple agencies supporting the 2019 Dare to Prepare program. The agencies that have supported this grand effort for all 4 precincts was 211 of the Rio Grande Valley, the Donna Independent School District, the Edinburgh Constellated Independent School District, the Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley, Hidalgo County Community Service Agency, Mr. Longoria, Hidalgo County Precinct 2 Constable's Office, Marty Cantu, Hidalgo County Precinct 3, Larry Gallardo, Hidalgo Precinct 1, Commissioner David Fuentes and your staff. Thank you all very much for what you all did in that great presentation, the 2 presentations we did in your precinct. Precinct 2, Commissioner Cantu and your staff, always pushing the community to go to those Dare to Prepares. Done a very good job to Mr. Garza, Olivia, and Mr. Salinas. They did an excellent job in putting them together, along with my staff, Moni Hinojosa. Hidalgo Precinct 3, Commissioner Flores and your group. I can't remember the young lady, the 2 ladies that helped us put together with the Desarrollo de Salud up in Pueblo del Palmas. Excellent, good response. Precinct 4, Commissioner Torres and Dr. Culbertson for assisting us in putting this together. Worked out great. Thank you all very much. Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1, Hidalgo County Fire Marshal's Office, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services, Hidalgo County Enforcement, Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office, the Lower Rio Grande Development Council, National Weather Service, Nuestra Clínica Familiar, San Juan Fire Department, Texas Recovery Together, the Weslaco Fire Department, and the Weslaco Police Department. Without all these agencies, these Dare to Prepares would have never worked. Plus all those promotoras that are assisting us in getting the community out to these several locations that we had these events. It turned out great with the follow-through with that weather event at La Plaza Mall that also turned out with a great response, and some of the precincts were there to participate. We had a good go-over, and we're continuing the outreach. It doesn't stop with the Dare to Prepare. It continues going on, and I appreciate you all for supporting this effort. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Good presentation.
So we can go back to item 5A, County Judge's Office.
Good morning, Commissioners. Item 5A, we have discussion and approval of the Third Amendment and addendum to the tax abatement agreement effective as of December 13, 2016, between Hidalgo County and Wonderful Citrus Packing.
Move for
Move for
approval.
approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. Haida?
Good morning, Commissioners. Rosalinda Cantu presenting for
Morning.
the District Attorney's Office. Item 6A, we're asking for authorization and approval to submit a grant extension. This is request number 2 to extend from June 30, 2019 to 8/31/2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sheriff's Office?
Good morning, Commissioners. Captain
Morning.
David Friedland with the Sheriff's Office. Agenda 7A, 70823, fiscal year 2020, Automobile Burglary and Theft Prevention Authority Grant, requesting approval for resolution designating the county judge as the authorized official and for Commissioners to sign document.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, 70821, the 2016 Operation Stone Garden Supplemental, 1284, authorization and approval to submit a budget amendment or FRAG in reference to Operation Stone Garden 2016 Supplemental.
Move for
Move for
approval.
approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you. Constable Precinct 2?
Commissioner, good morning. Armando
Chief.
Campos for Constable Martin Cantu. On item 8A, we have number 1, authorization and approval to purchase through the State Texas Federal Surplus Program under Chapter 2175.001 of the Texas Local Government Code and Section 262.0249C, 1 cargo truck LMTV for $6,500.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 2, authorization of Purchase Department to issue a purchase order and the County Treasurer's Office to issue a check made payable to the Texas Facility Commission after the County Auditor's reviews.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Commissioners, thank you.
Thank you. We'll skip Executive Office. We'll go to Human Resources. Raul Siguero. And then it's Urban County Health and Human Services. Hey, Raul.
Good morning, Commissioners. Boy, I never get up here that fast, so I was outside.
Got places to be.
Right. Morning, Commissioners. Item 10, Human Resources. The first item that we need approval on is we're requesting a waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments for the personnel items that are listed below.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The other comment that I want to make is normally any positions that are not funded would be subject to funding, and I'll try to mention that on each one that it applies to. Item B, 10B, Health Department and Emergency Management. There's a position that was created last year during the budget process in the Health Department, Director of Field Operations, that is not needed, and Emergency Management would like and another Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator 2. So we're asking to delete the position in the Health Department, grade 16, and create the 13. The subject to funding on the creation, the other money would lapse into that account.
Move for approval. Second.
So it's a new person?
It's a new position that would be under emergency management. The other position was never filled. So
And
we're going to delete it.
How long was the other position open?
We created it during the budget process last year, but it was never filled. It was never needed, so we never filled it.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C for Precinct 1, under Road and Bridge, road maintenance. The precinct is requesting approval to create 4 temporary full-time positions for 18 weeks, beginning 7/1 and ending on 10/31. But the precinct has relooked at their numbers, and they're actually only going to need 2. So we're asking approval to create temporary slot 172 and 173, maintenance ones, grade 3, and we're going to take no action on slots 174 and 175.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The other one is, they're asking approval to delete, this is precinct 1 still, delete slot 0115, program manager 1 at a grade 13, and instead create a slot 0176, a contract specialist 2. There's a little slight savings on that.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Facilities management, Mr. Flores is asking approval to create a diesel mechanic, slot 127 at a grade 10. We have a lot of diesel engine generators and other diesel equipment. He has not a specialized diesel mechanic. I think Mr. Flores is here, or he said he was going to be here. To explain the need. I really can't. Daniel, can you tell the commissioner, especially because it's hurricane season, there seems to be some urgency there.
Commissioners. The reason I'm asking for this, I inherited 21 standby generators. I have a mechanic right now, but he's having a hard time trying to keep up with the diesel part of it. General battery changes is not a problem. It's just the diesel part of it. He doesn't know the ins and outs of a diesel engine, so that's why I'm asking. Plus, I have 2 pieces of equipment that I cannot maintain as is right now until I get a diesel mechanic.
Any questions?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Commissioners, if I may, I just want to add one thing. I am still working with Daniel, as I've talked to the court, working with Daniel, Mr. Silguero, with respect to some additional maintenance positions. I know that we have grown with respect to the facilities we have, but the maintenance of those facilities, as far as housekeeping as well as general maintenance duties on the buildings for Precinct 1, Precinct 4. I know that we've had some issues at Precinct 3, and so we kind of play we'll take one from one and send them over there. That is not working because it creates issues when we take them off of where they're at, and then we have issues there. So I am working with them. These are slots that would be through the facilities management, but we will indicate so that when we come to court, and if the court does approve the positions, that these slots, individuals that apply for them are going to understand that these are slots that are going to be working at these precinct facilities, so that they know that they can be rotated at any point in time. But they're to help us with the precinct facilities. Okay.
I think those are during the budget process, Valde, is that what?
Well, we were working through in the budget process, but right now we are having an issue. I know for sure one of the facilities that we're having an issue with is at Precinct 4. I've been working with Commissioner Torres and staff, so I may want to accelerate that. But again, if approved, it would be at a prorated amount from whatever point we approve through the end of the year. But yes, we are working through the budget process as well.
Thank you. Item E, this is the WIC administration. This is a state-funded grant, federal, state, I believe. They're asking to delete 4 positions, slots 0022, 0049, 0099, 0113, as listed, titles as listed, and they want to create instead slot 0263, accountant 3, and slot 264, nutritionist 2, and slot 0265, WIC certification specialist 1.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F, this is the executive office under the litigation account. the executive office is going to approve of the following personnel action. They want, it's just a title change from legal assistant 3 to administrative assistant 4, based on the duties at same grade, no change in salary or grade.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Under health benefits, this is under the budget office, health benefits division, they're asking approval to extend a temporary full-time position for 27 weeks beginning 7/1/2019 through 12/31/2019. This is a position that was hired by health benefits because we have an employee there that was cancer and they have to go to treatment a lot. So this is to help with the workload because of that personnel issue. So they're asking for the clerk one to be extended through the end of the year. It's a temporary position.
Second.
We have a motion second. All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Precinct 1, they have a temporary position, administrative assistant. We were going to extend it, but the precinct has relooked at that, and we're going to take no action on that. Precinct 3, this is another position that is a temporary position. The precinct is asking approval to extend the position for 26 weeks, beginning July 1, ending 12/27. This is a road and bridge position. It's a road maintenance foreman, grade 13. It's just an extension from road and bridge funding from precinct 3.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item H, hurricane preparedness. We created similar positions last year. These positions are to pre-position the slots in case they're needed during a hurricane event, a rain event that normally we get in this time of the year. These are not funded right now. They would be funded through the Commissioner's Court declaring a declaration, and the fund balance can then be triggered to fund these positions. So we want to be able to have the slots created in case we need them, and the meeting is going to be a week or two after we can start posting the jobs, but they would not be funded or filled until so they would be funded from fund balance, emergency declared funds. And those are 30 positions, 10 truck driver 3s, 10 equipment operator 3s, and 10 maintenance 1s. These are county-wide, so they would be assigned wherever the need may be in any precinct or any area of the county.
Move for approval.
Second.
Before we vote, just a quick note. You're saying that we won't trigger this until a disaster is declared.
That's
This
correct.
says hurricane preparedness. That's not a good description from the standpoint that this is in response to a disaster. And
Yes, and I guess we in anticipation of hurricane season, and those are normally the kind of events that we have that are emergency. That's why the title is that way. But obviously, it could be for any natural disaster. It could be a rain event. It doesn't have to be a hurricane.
Well, I would just ask that we don't necessarily wait for a disaster to hit. Sometimes we need to take proactive measures in cleaning our ditches, assisting Raul Cecin, doing stuff at the precinct with sandbags and things like that. We don't always have enough personnel to be able to do that and do our daily operations. So I would hope that this is not just if a disaster is declared, but in preparation for.
I think, Commissioner, the idea is to create the slots, have the slots available. If in fact there is a declared emergency that we can use the fund balance, then we could fund it that way. In the event that there's not a disaster and other funds could be found to fund them, then we could fund them that way.
And I'm okay with that. I just don't want it to be just a
Sure.
response.
Yes, absolutely.
So then the action that would be included would be that appropriate funding be identified for whatever the need is.
Right.
Okay.
Is that all right, Steve?
Well, all you're doing is creating slots.
Right.
And it's not being funded. So if they need these, to fill these slots.
Appropriate funding.
They would have to be funded.
Commissioner's Court action to direct that funding to these slots.
Okay.
So what process we're not speeding anything up then?
No.
Because we're still gonna have to come to Commissioner's Court.
No,
Well,
Steve.
but we can have the slots available.
Okay.
We can start posting the positions to get applicants while the funding issue is being addressed. So
can
we
do
don't
that?
waste time.
We can do that?
Yes, sir. We won't fill the
about
jobs,
the drug
but we
testing and all
can
that?
recruit.
Well, that would be
Once they're hired.
TxDOT rules would be for the truck drivers, because we do have to meet TxDOT rules. And so we would have to, for those positions, for under TxDOT, we would have pre-employment.
Yes, absolutely.
Screening.
Screening.
Pre-employment screening, as per TxDOT rules. and we would be requiring the appropriate CDL license.
Yeah, but we could start the process, that process, and not fill the job and make the offer until the funding is in place, for sure. It just might save us some time.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item I is under the District Attorney's Office Civil Litigation Section. They're asking approval to create a temporary full-time position effective upon Commissioners Court approval ending 12/31. This is to create a temporary Attorney 3 position. I believe they have one or two attorneys that are going to be on maternity leave or some sort of leave, and the workload requires that we have a temporary position, obviously subject to funding.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
On item J, on an intern, we're going to take no action on that. The office, the auditor's office has requested no action. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ciliero.
Did you
Thank
want to
you,
do Marcus?
Commissioner.
Yes, Marty, could we do the purchasing, please? The one,
Purchasing item E1. This is for Precinct 4, approval to terminate current agreements with Star Telecom, formerly known as Star Telecom LLC, for security and fire alarm monitoring services for Lynn San Manuel Emergency Services Building located in Precinct 4.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 would be requesting exemption from competitive bidding
Marty,
requirements.
you know what, can I just take it from there with, because of the beat?
That's fine, but they're not awarded, that's,
Okay, well, just
Yes.
out of an abundance of caution, let me
okay,
let me take
that's fine,
two.
no problem.
So item, again, under Precinct 4, E2, A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4 for a professional appraisal review services.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
My apologies, for professional appraisal review services, not for A. And item B, presentation of the scoring grid of firms graded through the county's pool of pre-qualified professional appraisal review services for the purpose of ranking by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court in connection with on-call professional appraisal review services. And the firms are as follows: Appraisal House, 88.5, Professional Appraisal Services, 95, and Southmost Appraisal, 81.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And item C is pursuant to Hidalgo County Commissioners Court approval, requesting authority for Hidalgo County Purchasing Office to negotiate a professional appraisal review service agreement with the number one ranked firm, as previously mentioned, which would be Professional Appraisal Services for the provision of on-call professional appraisal review services.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
We could go back to
Thank you, Ms. Hardy.
executive office. I think it's nine. Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner. And Daniel's still in, yes, Daniel's still in the audience. Item 9A, presentation for discussion of the following: update on ongoing county-owned building construction, relocation, and/or renovation repair projects. There's no action to be taken, but under item 2, emergency situations, occurrences last agenda, we did have an issue at the courthouse, Mr. Flores. It had to do with it was a brief power outage, but as a result of the power outage, the amping up of the chiller system as a result of.
What it is our
timer.
chillers were working. We have a timer in there, and what it did was the power surge shut it off, and then that means that all the air handlers for the courthouse didn't come back on after the power surge. Usually it does, because it messed up the timer, it didn't come back on, so we had to manually restart all of them.
But everything is right.
We started at 7 in the morning, and by the time everybody came in, it was decent.
And as my understanding through communication is that a review of the system didn't find anything.
No, it was just the surge on that.
Just-
Everything's working fine. We're going to go ahead and we disconnect the timer, so that way it won't affect it anymore. And then we're going to go back, and usually we do it so the thing will ramp down during some parts of the evening. So we're going to have to manually do that for right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Item B is delinquent tax collection and fees and fines report. We do have a presentation.
Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Michael Cano, partner with Linebarger. As you know, we are delinquent tax attorneys, and I have my colleague here with me, Kelly Rivera Salazar. We're here on a couple of different agenda items. The first being just an update on our collection efforts on the delinquent tax side and also on the fines and fees. I'll try to be as brief as possible so I don't hold everybody up. I believe you have a report in your packet, so you'll see that we basically try to contact your taxpayers by every different mean. We actually send them pieces of mail in the mail. We contact them through the telephone. We do property inspections, and you have all that information on the packet, like I said. Sometimes it is necessary for us to file lawsuits. You'll see where we filed this past 9 months, we filed over 1,100 lawsuits. We've had about 1,000 of them paid. We've taken 620 judgments, and we've done some tax warrants. And really and we've also done some tax sales. You'll see the breakdown of the tax sales in that pie chart. And really what we do is collect money on behalf of the county, and you'll have that on the following chart, and you'll see that we always benchmark to the prior period, the same period for the prior year. It's always our goal to collect just as much as we did the prior year, obviously for budgeting purposes. You'll see that this past 9 months we have collected just over $8 million, and for the prior 9 months we had collected just over $8.4 million. There's a couple of different reasons for there's a very slight decrease of about $300,000. The slight decrease in part is actually attributed to an anomaly that we've had this past year. There was some gas compressor cases that were held out of Galveston County that appealed their taxation. They're basically some of these compressors that are used in the gas industry. And so the appraisal districts were assessing these gas compressors statewide. Well, they were appealed in Galveston County, went all the way to the Supreme Court, and we have now had an unprecedented amount of refunds that have been issued across the entire state of Texas as a result of these, gas compressors being inappropriately assessed according to the Texas Supreme Court. So we've had, you'll see in that chart, that's what it actually, you'll see that the difference in the same 9 months of this past year, the county has actually refunded about close to $600,000 in refunds. And these are the customary adjustments that include these gas compressor cases as well. And we're very fortunate here in Hidalgo County that it hasn't impacted us as greatly as some other counties. In Starr County and Zapata County, where they have a lot of natural gas production, these refunds have been, for the most part, almost catastrophic, especially in places like San Isidro ISD, because the school districts actually tax 3 times the amount the county does. And in some of these cases, these are refunds that are having to be issued from 5 years back. So basically, these gas production companies paid all their taxes on time every year. The school districts, the county, everybody spent that money over the past 5 years, and now because of the Supreme Court's ruling, all that money has to be refunded for the past 5 years. For someone like San Isidro or Starr County, you can imagine that that's pretty catastrophic because they've already spent money that they had received those years. So here, the burden has been a little bit lower. It's still a pretty good amount. From looking at the tax roll records, I think we're expecting probably about another $150,000 to $200,000 worth of refunds coming in the next couple of months. We're still going to see some big refunds. Nonetheless, one thing I want to point out is that even though you'll see at the very bottom of these charts, you'll see what we call the adjusted DTR, and I really want to slow down here only because I think this is very important, because I think it gives you all a good indication of where the county's at. The adjusted DTR is basically what we call the delinquent tax roll. That's how much money is owed in delinquent taxes to the county. And you'll see that today there's about a little over $31 million that's owed to Hidalgo County in delinquent taxes. If you go back 5 years, there was $34 million owed in delinquent taxes to the county. So even though the county has grown substantially in the past 5 years, the amount of current taxes that the county was billing every year to the taxpayers went from 5 years ago was $159 million. So this past year we're at $203 million. So we've grown. The county has grown by about 21% in just its property taxes. But the amount owed to the county every year in delinquent taxes continues to go down, and that's kind of rare. Because normally when the county grows and you're issuing more tax debt or more tax bills, your delinquent tax roll normally goes up. So what we have here is the county's growing every year. You're receiving more money on the current side, but we have less money collect every year on the delinquent tax side, which is not good for my business, but it's very good for the county. So really, that's where we're at. Again, we are down just a little bit. It's not a very big amount considering the amount of money that we collect. We still have 3 months left in this year, and hopefully we can make that up. But we certainly have made it up in also our collections of the fines and fees. At that point, I'll turn it over to my colleague to go over the fines and
Michael,
fees.
real quick
Sure.
on that red, how much of that is attributed to that case?
At this point, I would say about 175,000 is attributed to the gas compressor refunds.
Gotcha.
And then I think we're expecting about another 200,000 in the next coming months.
So how much would it impact us on a yearly basis?
Well, it's not going to happen on a yearly basis. It's just, it's a one-time.
The years affected.
It's going back 5 years. It's
Per
going
year,
back 5 years,
How
but
much
we're,
is it per year?
I can break down that number for you, Commissioner.
More or
I'll get it. Yeah, it's really hard to, and really what we have is, we don't have the breakdown per year. I can probably request it and get it, but we have is just the total amount. I'd have to get that from the tax office. And again, the only reason why I bring this up, and I didn't want to get into all the details of this, the reason why I bring this up is because technically, this is what we collected, the 8.6. If you look at the number at the top of the right column, this is truly what your delinquent tax attorneys have collected, the $8.6 million. What happens is that when there's a refund issue, the tax office has to pull that money from delinquent tax collections. So that's the numbers on the prior side. Because what's happened is, in this particular case, Commissioner, these taxes were paid over 5 years ago. So all that money came in, it was reported to you all by your tax assessor collector. The money was given obviously to you all, that money was spent. So now that there's got to be refunds issued, for accounting purposes, that money's got to come from somewhere. So your tax collector actually pulls those refunds out of your delinquent tax collections. I don't know if that makes any sense, because
No, I understand why you're presenting it. I'm trying to understand how it impacts us. We're having to write the check. It's separate from what you're doing.
right, and technically
You're providing this for your purpose. I'm trying to understand the check that we're gonna write.
right, and those checks will be issued, and obviously, I'll tell you that from your point of view, it's going to be a one-time hit, okay? But that hit, it's because it's going back 5 years, and that one-time hit's probably going to cost the county about $500,000. And that hit, it's not one check, because there's several different companies. There's probably about 10 to 20 different companies that we're issuing refunds to, or the county is, and you've already issued about half of those checks, and there's still another half that need to be issued. But this is not something you're going to see every year from this point out.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like you go into your savings and having to take out $500,000 to $1 million. It might happen once, but it's a big.
No,
it's a big
it
impact.
is a big amount.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kelly Salsad on behalf of Linebarger to present your fees and fines report. You'll see the chart, the first chart reports the work completed from the period of January 2019 through March 19 related to the district courts and county courts at law fees and fines collection. You'll note the amount of letters mailed on behalf of both entities, the amount of address updated and phone contact information updated, and the incoming and outgoing calls completed by our office and received by our office. The next slide will document the Justice of the Peace work done across precincts 2, 3, and 4. Also a substantial amount of letters being sent, address and phone information being updated, as well as calls received and issued out of our office during this reporting period. We also wanted to include in this report a breakdown of what the age of the offenses are for each fees and fines account that we get. You see the vast majority are those that are over 3 years and older, and a very small percentage are those that are 1 year or less. And those are the accounts that we're mailing on, updating information on, and placing phone calls and receiving phone calls. And now our collection highlights. This is for the period of January through March. We wanted to go back to January 2016 and let you know for each reporting period for those past 4 years what our collections look like. And you'll see a dramatic increase in collections over those reporting periods during this time period due to our ability to go in and clean out those accounts and work closely with the county offices to better engineer the system and collect those outstanding amounts. As far as a January through December collections, we want to include that as well to show you how well our collections have been going and increasing. And you'll see that last bar chart goes from January through March because, of course, we're not quite at December yet. And already we're almost half, the revenue generated is almost half of what it was the last year, and it's entirely just in this first quarter. So we're very excited about our fees and fines program and the revenue that we're able to generate for the county. And that concludes my report. Before I conclude, I wanted to acknowledge our other partners in the office, in the room. Lucy Canales is present. And we also have John David Franz. And very new to our office, but not new to the county, is Jimmy Gonzalez. So thank you for the opportunity to present. Be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner, I've got one more additional agenda item, which is the resolution approving the sale of some tax resale properties. I believe that's the next agenda item.
Item 2, right, and that would be discussion and action on resolution authorizing the resale of certain struck-off properties on August 6, 2019, and there is a list that has been attached.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Once again, thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Commissioners, if I may, item C would be, is approval of subdivision plat of Hidalgo County Courthouse and authority for county judge to sign.
Move for approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Back to Urban County.
PR.
Good morning, Commissioners. PR Avila with the Hidalgo County Urban County Program. For 11A, we're requesting approval to rescind action taken by Commissioners Court on May 21st, 2019, which was requesting approval of a budget and program amendment for the city of Hidalgo.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 11B, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, requesting consideration and action to award and enter into a construction contract with Science Brothers Construction, the lowest responsible bidder, in the amount of $1,186,108. This is a Texas General Land Office 2015 flood grant. Funds will be utilized.
Move for approval?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 11C, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, requesting approval of best and final offer negotiated contract and approval of work authorization number 1 for professional engineering services with Hinojosa Engineering, Inc. in the amount of $87,887. This is utilizing Urban County funds fiscal year 31 and the City of Public of Granjeno Facilities and Improvement Funding. This was about 3 years ago in June, when their public facilities actually, there was a storm and it actually collapsed. So,
Approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
thank you.
Thank you.
Health and Human Services.
Good morning, Commissioners. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. Item 12A is requesting approval to accept a donation of $24.10. This was for a person who obtained some services at our clinic and they were charged at $24.10. Later, we found out there were some other means of payment through insurance or through Medicaid. We offered the refund back to the client, and the client said, no, just keep it, and I don't want to come back in and do all the paperwork. So we followed the procedures according to the auditor's office.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Item B is under indigent health care, requesting approval for payment of a claim from Network Sciences invoice V as in Victor 15962 in the amount of $250, including authorization for county treasurer to issue payment after reviewing auditing procedures are completed by the county auditor. This was a programming fee for our indigent care blue program. We did not take into account that there would be an extra charge for the programming fee for that program. So that's what this claim is.
Approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Also, sir, I'm sorry. I was going to say, Mr. Guerra, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Olivares, with respect to the July payment for the intergovernmental transfer, the IGT, I know that your office was notified, and you don't know when you get notified, you just get notified, and they've informed you that you have a July or has to be on or before July 1st. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay. Our next scheduled meeting is July 2nd, so was going to recommend to the court that, as opposed to Tuesday, July 2nd, which is a special week meeting for us, that we have Commissioners Court on July 1st, one day earlier. And that would be, but I want to make sure that it meets the
Correct.
the requirement. It's on or before July 1st.
Correct. But all that transaction would have to work with the auditors and with
Right, but that's
budget
why-
office to make everything happen
But that's why I'm stating today.
Yeah.
So that everybody can get together and on the 1st, through court action.
Right.
We process the transaction.
This is an example of where we had a running agenda item that we would always, once in a while, run into this is the situation. That's what happened. So now we have to look at having an additional.
But I will say that his office, Mr. Olivares' office, has been working, trying to get an extension.
An
but-
extension. We
but
won't know
that-
until this afternoon.
Right, but I don't think that's going to happen. Actually, your office did provide us something that the extension was not.
Oh, it just came in? Okay.
Just came,
Yeah,
yes.
oh, there we go.
So as long as the deadline, on or before July 1st is my understanding.
Right, correct.
So again, I'll just recommend that we have court on Monday as opposed to Tuesday, one day earlier.
Anybody have a problem with
Okay. And I'll work with Isaac and the judge's office.
Right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Community Service Agency.
Commissioners.
We can come back.
Yes, because he was here. He may be outside.
It's okay. We'll go to 15, Elections Administration.
There's no action today under item 15A.
Head Start.
Good morning. The first item is discussion and approval of a revised medication administration policy. We worked very closely with the support and help from the Office of Head Start to have a policy that makes it very safe for us to be able to administer medication in a very detailed process and protocol to follow. Administration recommends approval.
I'm going to abstain from this one.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries with an abstention from Commissioner Fuentes.
I'm also going to abstain from 16C.
Under letter B, we ready? Yes. Discussion approval of disposition of the Mercedes Head Start modular building in accordance with federal regulation ACF IMHS 1208, 45 CFR 1309.31C, and 45 CFR 74.318 to be donated to the Texas Valley Communities Foundation, a nonprofit 501.c3 corporation supporting family school relationships. The building is a 24-year-old building. We can't afford to move it. It's in really bad shape, and it does sit in their property. And we've been paying rent for the use of that property. We were offered a location elsewhere, and this is the place where we temporarily were housing the Weslaco children. We're now going to be at Northbridge Elementary, and so we're very grateful that we were able to move there. We're in the process of finalizing the move. Administration recommends approval pending the Office of Head Start releasing the federal interest of that building.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
The next item, letter C, is requesting exemption from competitive bidding under the Texas Local Government Code 262.024 for professional services to provide medical and dental services, mental health services, speech and interpreting services. And we have the presentation. Of course, first is the exemption. So I don't know if you want to, I guess you have to do all three individually. The first one is the exemption.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
The second one is
with
the
an abstention from
Okay.
Commissioner Fuentes.
Sorry.
Go ahead, number 2.
Okay, number 2, presentation of responses received for the purpose of Commissioners Court accepting the providers as qualified in order to proceed to the next phase of procurement process, negotiating contracts. For medical and dental services, RFQ 2019-001-04-30-AS. We have Nuestra Clínica del Valle Incorporated Medical and Dental Services. Number 2, Dr. Bose Industrial and Family Medicine, PLLC, doing business as Industrial HealthWorks Medical. And number 3, Growing Smiles Children's Dental Health Care Center, Dental.
For mental health services, we have RFQ 2019-002-04-30-AS, Therapy Express Children's Rehabilitation Center, LLC. And the third one is for speech and interpreting services, RFQ 2019-03-04-30-AS. And we have Amy Jane Hermanson doing business as sign language services. Administration recommends your process of approving that.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And the third one?
With an abstention
I'm
from
abstaining
Commissioner
from
Fuentes.
Everything on C.
Got it.
The third one is approval for Head Start to negotiate contracts in a form approved by legal counsel for all the professional services providers as requested through the Hidalgo County Head Start Programs RFQ for the said services and as detailed above in the attached hereto.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries with an abstention from Commissioner Fuentes.
Letter D is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code 262.024 A4 for professional engineering services.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Number 2 is presentation of the scoring grade of firms graded through the county's pool of pre-qualified professional engineering services for the purpose of ranking by HCCC in connection with professional engineering services in moving the San Juan 2 portable building. And we have the firms there and their scores. We have Half and Associates, a score of 98. Hinojosa Engineering, a score of 84.5. Quintanilla Headley and Associates, a score of 93.5.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, and the third one, pursuant to HCCC, I guess, approval requesting authority to negotiate a professional engineering service agreement with the number 1 ranked firm. And I am asking for you to give us a number 1 ranked firm for the moving of the San Juan 2 portable building.
Move for approval.
Second.
Just for the record, the number 1 ranked firm is Half and Associates.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Letter E, discussion approval on request to enter into a 36-month copier capital lease agreement for 53 copiers through Hidalgo County's membership participation in the State of Texas Department of Information Resources, DIR, awarded vendor Kyocera, Document Solutions America Incorporated, DIR, cooperative contract, in parentheses, DIR-TSO-3092, with delivery and servicing to be provided by the local authorized reseller, Montano Investments Incorporated, doing business as Digital Office Systems.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Letter F, and our final item is the discussion approval of the program calendars for program year 2019-2020. You're getting all the program calendars that correspond to the school districts and to the program for the coming year. So we have 10 MOUs with 10 different districts and the program calendar. Administration recommends approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you all
Thank
very
you
much.
WIC,
Couldn't come to the podium. Ms. Clarissa couldn't be with us today, but we do have a representative. And under WIC, they do have their 1292 fund, which is their summer food program. And they're asking approval of certification of revenue by county auditor in the amount of $22,580 for the fiscal year 2019 summer food program and appropriation of the same. For the record, the summer food program is available at 5 clinical sites, if I'm not mistaken. That would be Mercedes, Donna, Edinburgh, Alton 1, and Alton 2. And the ages are 1 through 18, and who are at the clinic for any type of WIC services, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Move for approval.
second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 2 is the improving of the participation experience, which is the IPE 1292 fund. Approval of certification of revenue by county auditor in the amount of $80,000 for the fiscal year 2019, improving the participant experience grant and appropriation of the same.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For Wicks Lactation Center, we have a request approval to accept the Lactation Support Center Services Program contract as listed in the amount of $200,000 for the contract term September 1st, 2019 through August 31st, 2020.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2 would be requesting approval for County Judge to e-sign the Lactation Support Center Services Program grant contract and signature page for system agency and Exhibit A, affirmations and solicitation acceptance.
Move for approval. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And last item is requesting approval of the certification of revenue by the county auditor in the amount of $200,000 and appropriation of the same.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Precinct 1.
Morning, Commissioners. Precinct 1, 18A, requesting permission by the Good Times Car Club Worldwide, Del Valle, Texas, Chapter 2, use Delta Lake on July 6, 2019, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, Precinct 1 is requesting authorization and approval to rename County Road 3301 between County Road 3350 and County Road 3308 in Precinct 1 to Modesto Road as recommended by the LRGV DC 911 Department.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C, requesting approval to accept the counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as parcel number 72 associated with the Mile 6 West Road Improvement Project with authority for the county judge to sign the administrative evaluation and approval form.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Precinct 2.
Morning, Commissioners. Precinct 2, item 19A, requesting approval to rescind the action taken on 6/6/2019, agenda item 70648.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Motion carries.
19A2, approval of an order authorizing Hidalgo County to enter into an advanced funding agreement with the Texas Department of Transportation for the Precinct 2 Eldoto Road project from FM 3362 Jackson Road to Veterans Road, also known as I Road, with authority for the county judge to sign the order.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Motion carries.
Item 19B, approval of an order authorizing Hidalgo County to enter into an advanced funding agreement with the Texas Department of Transportation for the Precinct 2 Cesar Chavez Road project from Business 83 to Nonala Loop, with authority for the county judge to sign the order.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Commissioners, just to explain the last two items, in the past, we had been able to provide minutes of the meetings where you were authorizing authority to enter into the interlocal agreement, or to the AFAs, rather, the advanced funding agreement with TxDOT. They are now requiring that we have an order, and so we're going back to do corrective action on some of those. And then as we move forward, we will be bringing orders authorizing the judge to enter into those AFAs on behalf of the county. Item 19C, approval and acceptance from Commissioner Precinct 2 Eduardo Cantu to sign the notice of intent for stormwater discharges associated with the construction activity under the TPDES general permit application and the request for electronic reporting waiver from Texas Commission on Environmental Quality for the Regional Linear Park Project, Section 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 19C, request and approval of payment in the amount of $325 to TCEQ for the application fee with authority for the county treasurer to issue check after review and auditing procedures are completed by the county auditor.
Move for approval. Second.
Thank you,
All in
Commissioners.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now, thank you.
Got me. Precinct 3.
Let me go ahead and introduce Elmin Garza. He's from the city of Peñitas. He's a school board member in La Jolla. He works for the city, for Precinct 3 now, and he also is chief administrator.
Awesome. Welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. Armin Garza, Precinct 3, item 28. Requesting approval to name private road easement located approximately 1,045 feet west of Texan Road on the south side of Mile 7 as Locinos Service Road for 911 purposes.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Budget. Sergio.
Morning, Commissioner. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 21A is approval of 2019 interfund transfer from Precinct 1 road maintenance and admin programs into Precinct 1 sanitation, and a total amount of $33,150.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 21B is approval of advance funding agreement between Hidalgo County and the Texas Department of Transportation for FM 1015 road project from Mile 12 to State Highway 107, CSJ number 1228-03041, and approval, if we can make a change here, is approval of an order authorizing the county judge to sign the AFA for said project. And we'll basically just change the template from a resolution to an order.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 21C1 is approval of 2019 appropriation of funds into Precinct 1 Road and Bridge Program, Program 005 and Program 239, and the total amount of $513,027.62.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 21C2 is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for revenues received from interest earnings and other miscellaneous revenues and the appropriation and/or interfund transfers for various capital projects.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Ms. Marty, if I may, Commissioners, Mr. Longoria is not with us this morning, so I thought I had seen him outside. So if I could go back to CSA. 14A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept funding from the Corporation for National and Community Services for the Senior Companion Program Year 2 in the amount of $448,799 with authorization for Jaime Longoria to electronically sign any and all pertinent documents. All appropriate backup is attached.
You spoke to him?
No, I have not spoken to him, but I was looking at the backup. There is appropriate backup that's been attached for each of these items.
Okay. We got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item B for Community Service Agency, discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept funding for the corporation, from the Corporation for National and Community Services for the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program Year 3 in the amount of $76,751 with authorization for Jaime Longoria to electronically sign any and all pertinent documents.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item C, discussion, consideration, and possible action to accept funding from the Corporation for National and Community Services for the Foster Grandparent Program Year 2 in the amount of $254,569 with authorization for Jaime Longoria to electronically sign any and all pertinent documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Commissioners, I will have a follow-up with Mr. Longoria on these items as well. Thank you, Ms. Marty.
No problem. Item 22, for Purchasing Department, Martha Salazar. Item 22-1 is acceptance and approval of final AIA 133 form of agreement between Hidalgo County and Econ for the construction manager at risk for the county services facility and justice center, including authority for the project manager B2Z to issue and send the formal notice to proceed. All items that were on the observations have been met.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is acceptance and approval of work authorization 2 with an estimated cost of $24,033.71 is submitted by project engineer LNG Consulting to provide engineering services to the county services facility and justice center.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3 is the presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court the responses received in connection with requests for proposals for auctioneer services. We distributed 23 packets. We received 2 responses. Let me, before I begin, make two corrections on typos. On evaluator 4, that instead of a 95, that should be a 98. On evaluator 3, the 70 should be a 95. And purchasing apologizes for that error. At the end of the tabulation, you have 455 points for AMT auction marketing and 444 points for bond and bond. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of those scores of points?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
So B is requesting authority for purchasing to commence negotiations and receive a best and final offer commencing with the number 1 firm of AMT.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The next item, 4, is presentation of the vendors submitting the lowest and best bids for the purpose of award and approval of contracts. For the RFP titled Rental of Heavy Equipment, we sent out 26 packets, were distributed. We received 2 bids. One will be awarded to Big D Tractor Company, DBA Frontera Equipment / Blue Cat Rentals. The second one is Rush Truck Leasing, DBA Rush Refuse, with the statement on the record that they have clarified the bid and it is at $5,900, which will include all freight. There was a we got a clarification from the vendor. It's all inclusive of any delivery or pickup.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 5 is presentation multiple vendors submitting the lowest and best bids for the purpose of award and approval of contracts for expansion of water extraction services providers for Hidalgo County with Longhorn Paving and Oilfield Services, Movac Environmental, and Y Environmental.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 6, there will be no action taken on either A or B. Item 7, acceptance and approval to exercise the county's option to utilize the first of 2 extension periods permitted under the contract, under the same rates, terms, and conditions with Enterprise Holdings for the lease or rental of vehicles.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 8, approval to exercise the county's option to utilize the 1-year extension allowed under the contract, under the contracts listed below for corresponding vendors under the same rates, terms, and conditions. That is EA Stone Incorporated, Gulf Data Products, Gateway Printing, and Office Supplies.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Under 9, emergency management, this is a presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of the following contractors submitting proposals under the RFP debris removal and disposal services. As you can see, we had 7 providers. Our RFP calls for the court, after ranking them, to proceed to allow the contracts with the first 3, since we are awarding a primary, secondary, and tertiary contractor. Those are, let me give you the scores, pardon me. Crowder Gulf LLC with a final score of 334. D&J Enterprises with a final score of 318. Custom Tree Care at 294, pardon me. TER Enterprises Incorporated at 309. Ashbrit Incorporated at 328. Ceres Environmental Services Incorporated at 370. And DRC Emergency Services Incorporated at 330. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move for approval.
That would be so I can identify Ceres at 370, Crowder Gulf at 334, and DRC Emergency Services Incorporated
That's the first 3,
at
right?
3. Those are the first 3.
Move for approval.
Second.
I will make for the record a note that on D&J Enterprises, which is the second vendor, there was an addition error by one of the graders. We corrected it. It should read 80 and not 84, evaluator 4, but that the total is correct of 318. Item B is
Hold on real quick. We need to take a vote, but I have a comment. So that we don't have such a wide variance where you have one evaluator that could potentially affect the voting. Can we look into another scoring system? For instance, and I'm not talking about this, but you can have one evaluator give somebody 100 and give somebody a 70, and everybody else has more of a 98 versus 95.
A trend.
And that one evaluator will affect the whole.
Skew the entire.
Yeah. Can we look at
We
something?
can.
Or
we can
throw
also-
them out if you
Exactly.
have five evaluators?
In this one's case, we don't have that provision, but yes, you can say that the highest and lowest scores will be removed, and you'll go with everyone else.
And sometimes, even for us, I'm going to make a comment for myself, even amongst us, we could have that, right? Like you
Certainly.
can have 4 commissioners for something, 1 against it, and they skew it by voting 160 or 110 or something.
I certainly
So,
agree.
okay.
So yes, I will implement that of the ones that have that provision when I come and ask for authority to advertise. For those, we will tell you that it's included.
Okay.
All right.
So we have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
And I'd like the court to know that on all RFPs, when they're negotiated, we do have the option that if we can't affect contracts, that's why they're scored in order, so that you can go to the next ones. So that's always, it's not a done deal that because you're one, you're going to end up with a contract. It has to be negotiated. We can't meet terms and conditions, you go to the next one.
Okay.
Item B, Executive Office. This is requesting approval for payment of claims to Servpro for the Harlingen San Benito in the amount of $98,375.10 for the following, with those are the 3 invoices at a total of as I stated, $98,370.10, and these are for expenses on the build back. All funding is already in place, and a requisition has been entered.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item C, Precinct 1, authority to advertise with approval of procurement packet approved by both TxDOT and Drainage District Number 1 for the professional engineering services for inspection, material testing, and construction management for Mile 6 project. For Precinct 1, RFQ 231, including, that's it.
Move for approval.
Second. Marty, you mean that item B1 had almost a year old?
They didn't start working until.
Yeah, well, they remember,
like,
it was all,
a few
they
months
had to
later.
do in stages. They had to go in and clean everything out first.
Yeah.
Then remember, all that was done, and then there was an additional remodeling after they did the immediate FEMA applicable items.
All right.
It wasn't from the very inception. It was
Exactly.
kind of like the tail end.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was
All
done.
right.
Item
Hold
D.
on, all in favor, we have a motion, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, we needed that.
Oh, and what about C1? I already read,
That was
That's
just the
what we
vote. We used to vote on C1.
did they vote on that?
We voted on C1.
Okay, so we're going to D1?
Correct.
All right. For Precinct 2 presentation and scoring grid for the purposes of ranking of the firms submitted responses, Hidalgo County's RFQ for professional engineering services for inspection materials testing and construction management for the Dicker Road project from SP 115 to FM 2061, located in Precinct 2. This is Millennium with a score of 271, and B2Z Engineering with a score of 288. Does the court wish to rank them in that order?
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional engineering services agreement commencing with the number 1 ranked firm of B2Z.
Move
for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2 is requesting approval to purchase safety surfacing and installation through the county's membership and participation in the TASB Biboard Cooperative Purchasing Program. Extra Play contract number as stated, the requisition 396071 in the amount of $37,630.94. We have received verification of the proposal, all the items, and the 1295 is being worked on.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next item is for precinct, we've already done precinct 4. We're going to F1, Sheriff's Office, presentation of the sole sealed quote received for the vendor submitting the lowest and best quote for the purpose of award and approval of the contract, and this is for the repair, installation, removal of radio tower and miscellaneous equipment, South Texas Communication, and in no event will this quote exceed $50,000, which is the bid threshold. That's why a quote was done.
Can I have a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And under G1, countywide presentation of multiple responsible vendors submitting lowest and best bids for the purpose of award and approval of contracts. This is for pipes and related miscellaneous items. These are multiple vendors: ACT Pipe and Supply, AquaWorks Pipe and Supply, Core and Main LP, and Rio Valley Pipe LLC DBA Kappa.
Move for approval.
Second.
And that's all I have.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Commissioners, we do have open forum through presenters. I'll remind the audience to please respect the speaker's time at the podium. There is a 3-minute time limit, and I will advise when there is 1 minute left. Our first presenter is Ms. Fern McClarity.
Good morning. I just wanted to let y'all know that it's come to our attention again that Hidalgo County has a lot of poor people. And what really gets us is they don't have computers, they don't have internet, nor do they have the skills to help themselves when they need to protest their property values. They can't get the comps. You can't go in and get the properties if you live in a colonia or whatever, so you can find out if it's fair, if your property is valued the same as your neighbors. We don't know what we can do to help them, but something needs to be done, because each one of you can either hire someone. These people don't have the money to hire a lawyer or whatever to go in and help them. So our county is always wanting to do something. Let's see if we can educate the poor. I had the lady, she said, I don't know how to do the computer. So if she had had one, she couldn't do it. And then today they showed during the drainage tires in the ditches. And I know a lot of people think, well, that's people just dropping the 2 or 3 tires, but you saw the large amount. Those are the tire companies that fix flats and things that collect all the tires and then quietly go dump them in the ditch like we saw today. So I don't know how the county can regulate or keep an eye on, and I understand they're small companies, someone said a mom and pop company, because they can't afford, I'm sure, the fees or whatever to take their tires somewhere. So if we can figure out how we keep up with the companies that are small, that are doing the tires, so that we can stop that large amount that's in our ditches. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next presenter is Ana Gonzalez.
Buenos días, señor juez y comisionados. Mi nombre es Ana González, soy líder de la organización Arise y resido en Comunidad Precinto 4. Nos gustaría agradecer la colaboración de la Corte de Comisionados y el Departamento de Presupuestos con la comunidad en cuestión al programa de alumbrado público. También recordarles, como el 21 de mayo, cuando presentamos el video educativo, la necesidad de que se invierta más en la seguridad y bienestar de las familias. Les pedimos que se asignen mínimo 500,000 para infraestructura de alumbrado público, que equivale a 0.23%, menos del 1% del presupuesto anual del condado de Hidalgo. También que al menos 2 subdivisiones de cada precinto que sean alumbrados por año, sean vecindades con infraestructura en parte de atrás de sus propiedades o sin infraestructura. Muchas gracias por su apoyo.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Ana Gonzalez. I am the leader of the organization Arise, and I live in the Sunrise community in Precinct 4. We would like to thank the collaboration of the Commissioners Court and the Budgeting Department with the community regarding the public lighting program. Also, remind you, like we did on May 21st when we presented the educational video, the existing need to invest more in the safety and well-being of the families. We ask you to assign at least $500,000 for public lighting infrastructure, which is 0.23%, less than 1% of the annual budget for the Hidalgo County. Also, that at least 2 subdivisions from each precinct be lightened every year, whether they have infrastructure on the backside of the property or not. Thank you very much for all your support.
Thank you. Our last presenter is Clara Miranda. Hope I pronounced that correctly.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Clara Miranda, vengo del Dora Subdivisión. Para dar las gracias por el alumbrado que están poniendo, pero se mira que donde ya había alumbrado brincaron y hay unas áreas que están muy oscuras. Queríamos no vamos a saber si van a poder poner más alumbrado ahí donde falta.
She said, hello, my name is Clara, and I come from El Dora Subdivision, and we just wanted to thank you for the public light service that we have in the Colonia. There was a street, Viesha Avenue, that was taking a while. They actually just implemented the lights yesterday. But she's bringing up an issue, which was that Magic Valley skipped homes that had private light. And it's actually an issue that we just brought up yesterday to the county, to Mr. Salazar. He wasn't aware of it beforehand, but it's coming up simply because when they came to install the light yesterday, I had talked to Mr. Salazar, and there should have been 4 lights in the subdivision, and this morning there's only 3, which is proof to us that they went ahead and skipped a home that had private light. So we just wanted to bring that to your attention and let you know that it was only raised yesterday to Mr. Salazar. But again, thank you.
Thank you. We do have closed session, commissioners.
As per Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Sections 551, 071, 072, and 074, we're going to go into a closed session.
Move. So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Mr. Siguero.
So we're back from closed session.
All right, so under open session, item 26, 26A, real estate acquisition appropriation for sale, no action to be taken today. 26B, pending potential litigation, there's no action. 26C, claim of Angelica M. Beltran. Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer for settlement in the amount of $10,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
26C, claim of Rosa Rodriguez. Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer.
That's D.
I'm sorry, D. Thank you, Commissioner. 26D, claim of Rosa Rodriguez. I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $165.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Let me backtrack just a tad. Under item 26C, claim of Angelica M. Beltran, if the offer is accepted for settlement for purposes of the auditor's office, then there would be payable to Angelica M. Beltran and Tijerina Legal Group.
So move with that
Second.
change.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And 26E, claim of Ricardo Yanes. Commissioners, I'd like to refer back to item, open session, item 25A and B. 25A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code, Section 262.024A4, a professional service for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation.
So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
25B, engaging with the firm of William Bill Garza for the provision of legal services representation in connection with litigation and authority to submit letter of engagement subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, specific to open session item 26E, claim of Ricardo Yanes.
So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 26F, claim of Elizabeth Rivera and Periseiba Flores. For the record, Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office from the District Attorney's Civil Division will be facilitating this claim and protecting the county's interest.
So move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 26G, civil action number 719 CV 00152, Jaime Hernandez Patino Jr. versus City of La Jolla and Hidalgo County Sheriff's Department. There's no action to be taken. We'll just proceed as directed. 26H, cause number C003419B, Aurelia Mendez versus County of Hidalgo. Again, there's no action to be taken. We'll just proceed as directed. 26I, cause number C5342-17-C, City of Donna versus County of Hidalgo et al. Commissioners, just for the record, we do have a mediation with respect to the City of Donna versus County of Hidalgo. And there is no, we'll just proceed as directed.
Proceed as directed.
26J, cause number C2529-19-H, Noreen Reyes et al. Versus Hidalgo County. For the record, Commissioners, this is will be facilitated by Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office, District Attorney's Assistant District Attorney's Office, Civil Division. And so if we could have a motion to that effect for the record.
So move.
Commission.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And 26K, discussion and/or deliberation regarding employment of Veteran Service Officer. There is no action to be taken today.
Next meeting.
Okay, our next meeting will be July 1st. That is on a Monday, July 1st, and it'll be 9:30, Drainage District, and 10 a.m., Commissioners Court.
Agenda items still due Friday, or they have to be moved to Thursday?
Post by Friday before.
Friday, we're going to send out an email to the departments, and we're going to also call the departments, and we will work with purchasing with respect to that. So while it may not seem like a lot, but one day does make a big difference
For
on
sure.
scheduling.
For us, it does.
Yes. Yes. And I believe that's all we have. And there is no need for item 27, close, and/or item 28, open session. And for the record, the assignment to Mr. William Bill Garza on the claim of Ricardo Yanes, he is with the firm of Palacios, Garza, and Thompson. Palacios, Garza, and Thompson. Thank you, Monica.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
I'll make the motion. With a second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.